Friday the 10th of November 2023 at 13:21 for the 13:26 East Midlands Railway service from Leicester to Grimsby Town, which doesn't leave its last calling point for another minute. It's about 3 minutes up the line from us.
Which one you mean? It's quite narrow, isn't it? Yeah. Is that one got back on the strip now? Yeah, maybe that bridge. Yeah. That's like a bit grassy, isn't it? A little bit grassy. Yeah. I wouldn't think that. Like it.
We're currently back at the old 3-minute dome timing from trains from the Highcombe direction, which we used to follow a lot in the earlier days between 2010 and 2018. Here we are. It's only 5:34. For Grimsby.
I always think that's protect the bait of it, really. Yeah.
So red now goes on red. (13:27) for the 13:27 London North Eastern Railway service from Lincoln Central to London King's Cross. A new fleet for LNER was announced recently to model off the CAF Class 397 train, which is currently in service with TransPennine Express. The whole body shell will be duplicated to make default 10 carriage services, which means some platforms on the main line will need very slightly extending if you want to accommodate all the carriages. The likes of Doncaster Platform 4 off, say, 10 car Azuma, if it wasn't 2 cabs and it was a big carriage, P4 would not be able to take 10 carriages. So that would need figuring out. They should default them all to use Doncaster Platform 8. Mind you, the fleet scene comes from many, many donations from CAF into the Conservative Party, who's responsible for LNER, Northern Trains, ScotRail and TransPennine Express. The stocking for the other operator still lands in hand of who it's contracted out to. But with TransPennine, the question still sits, what's going to happen with the Mark V sets that are now being dumped out of service after 2 years? Because the 6Js are all going back to direct rail services, which means there's nothing to pull them, and they obviously can't power themselves. So we're wasting money on that project with CAF. It'll end up being the same for these 91 replacements coming in 2029. This time will tell. Able to rotate. London King's Cross. £13.39 for the 1339 East Midlands Railway service from Grimsby Town to Leicester. There was kind of a lot of predictability, if that's a word, within the last week. So Saturday we saw, well, it was notified anyway to Network Rail and the British Transport Police of extremely dangerous behaviour at the two main city centre level crossings. Videos did emerge from the channels involved, which in due course I think was then submitted to the BTP, and kind of coincidentally Monday's incident followed just up the way. In a way, one was predicting the other without saying anything, is all I can think of it. After we've got this closure, I'm going to investigate whether vegetation has been trimmed at Monday's point, and if not, we are going to hold Network Rail wholly to account for it. Because that is the second incident there in 10 years. Fine, it's 10 years, but 2 can become 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 or 28 million before you know it. 172.70. For Leicester. And up we go. 1 minute and 43 seconds later. Now to investigate and interrogate and accuse the government. Let's go. Right, we've now reached Oak Farm, where Monday's incident occurred. And we're going to, before the next train, do the obvious check is, can we see potential trains before they arrive? So I would check from just outside of the wicket gate. You can't see in that direction still, you can't see in that one. The supposed point where you should be able to see is here. You can see that way, but obviously you can't see through the fence that way properly at my height. We're going to keep our eyes out just for safety and know where the next service is, and do the same this side whilst we wait for it. So can you see properly that end? Yeah, okay. But this end, you're still obscured by a branch, which is where the incident train came from. So can you properly see trains at Oak Farm Foot Crossing before they're here? No. Has Network Rail done anything to improve the situation to prevent another incident? No. Who was wholly responsible for the incident? Network Rail. We're going to see one train here, then we're going to leave because he's only at Thorpe on the Hill now. It gives us about 5 minutes for him to come anyway, and I can get some pictures to feed back whilst we wait and lodge a formal complaint, and hopefully this gets rectified before another incident does happen. Because like I say, for my safety, I would look from here outside of the railway boundary. You can't see in either direction until you're in the boundary, but they say you stop and look at the sign from where that's positioned, but you're already in the line at that point, and that's enough to put a driver at extreme caution on either end. So really, whatever the rule is, should be changed to, can you see an approaching train before you enter the railway? Answer from all sides is no. Like, I really don't know what's more embarrassing out of the whole situations that have happened here in the last 10 years. Cardboardy signs that say look both ways, don't cross till the line's clear, or high vegetation preventing you from seeing when the line's clear. I guess comments, which one's worse, the lack of visibility or a useless instruction that can't be followed because the lack of visibility? I was going to change to the worst side so you can see how bad vegetation was, but the train was well too close and I made my decision before it passed that last level crossing. Here's 1 Bravo 84 running from London King's Cross to Lincoln Central. £800-210 on that one. Even though I know that's the last train for a while, we've still got to do all the checks to be sure. From the sign, can we see clear that way? Yeah, we can see cars at the barriers. Can we see that way now we're just in the line? Yes. But that's not the point. If you're just in the line, it's not the safest point to observe if you can cross. That way, yeah, we can see. There we've got the fence and that massive bush. And if we're in here, we can't see there because of that tree. We can't see there because of that tree. I didn't even point the right way. But yeah, no, there's no prevention in place. And I'm going to make a very horrible prediction that another incident will occur here by summer 2025, if nothing changes. It's a very sort of, shouldn't say prediction, but it's bloody going to happen, isn't it? I'm going to head off whilst I've landed myself now in very deep controversy. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Subscribe and thank you for watching.